buck suck? I don't know. I was really proud. This was like my first buck knife. I mean, my first buck 110. My first buck knife was this one because I love the canoe pattern. I saw it a couple years ago and I picked it up because I love the canoe pattern, and it's a great knife. It's one of their China ones in burlwood. Freaking awesome. And it kind of opened my eyes a little bit to the traditionals all over again, along with my old timer that I randomly bought. Did a video on that. Maybe I uploaded it, maybe I didn't, but I just recorded it, so it'll be coming soon. But regardless, so I was really impressed with the Chinese buck, and then I bought a buck 110 randomly because it was an accident, actually. I swear to God, my wife came at me and she, did you buy a knife right before Christmas? I think she was worried that I bought a knife that she bought me for Christmas. And I was like, oh shit, no, I definitely didn't buy a knife. But then, yeah, this came in the mail. I was looking at it and apparently it just got ordered. I wasn't complaining at all because this is great. I'm not done with this. It's going to be an inlay. But the buck 110, got it. It's freaking awesome. The lockup, it doesn't move at all. Like, at all. Forward, back, side, like, at all. This is a fixed blade. Like, I was so impressed that I got this, like, on December 22nd or some shit. So impressed. I was like, this is great. I was thinking about selling some of my other knives because I was like, well, I mean, yeah, this is fucking awesome. Really. So my birthday came around January 10th, and they released that buck of the month, the buck 110. And that's what this bad boy is. Oh yeah, Richlite scales, bear head bolster, S35DN. Oh yeah. Beauty. Absolutely beautiful knife. I'm sure you guys, if you're buck fans, I'm sure you've seen the videos and you've ogled over it. It's freaking awesome. It is truly beautiful. These scales are to die for. They're smooth yet textured, almost like an old gun stock. Those saw cut. It's great. It looks like an old gun stock, but when you touch it, it feels like snakeskin. And I couldn't think of anything more appropriate for opening of the Year of the Snake. Also, January 10th, 110. Yeah. Anyways, I got it. Arrived late as hell. I bought it actually the day it came out. I got a text message from Buck, and my wife did, and she's like, they just released a buck on your birthday, and I was like, no shit. Well, that's mine, and sure enough, I bought it. So I bought it January 10th. It was shipped the 13th. I didn't receive it till, I'll have to look, I think it was the 23rd of January, so it's not horrible. 10 days. Horrible, because especially since the storm. So it was kind of late because I looked at online and people were already getting them like 5 days fucking later. I was like, what the hell? But anyways, I felt like a kid staring at that mailbox. So I get it, and I'm loving it. And this one, particularly, when I first got it, had a little bit of blade play. Just a little bit, so I oiled it. I took a pipe cleaner. I used the bristled pipe cleaners. And just to flush all of that, buffing wheel debris out of those, like the back spring, the blade tang, everything, just to make it clean, because I know that any kind of wobble, any kind of debris would affect its overall lockup. And now, I already said, it's what everybody wishes they had in a buck knife, straight up. Because I've become a fanboy in like the last 30 days, and I've watched videos, I've read forums, and they all look for everything that this knife has provided me. That's why I went and spent $165 on this one, which is a great deal considering the materials. They could have easily sold it for like $220, something like that, $250. So great deal. This is my issue. I had a little bit of blade play in it. No big deal, just like this one. Oil down the back spring. Like, just put oil all the way down the back spring. Hops. You go in oil, let it flood, put it right there. Activate the back spring like that and let the oil kind of go through. Pump it so that the back spring gets, and then the actual spring inside of there can get saturated in oil. Rotate it, go like this over and over and over again. And I just did that, and I got quite a bit of debris and grease and dirt out. Look, there's still some in there. So yeah, I did. But the thing is, the blade play didn't go away. Look at this. Can you see that? I'm barely touching it. Can you hear that? It's two fingers very lightly, like a teacup type of thing. And I know that it's leverage is a thing, so if I grab it here, it's going to rattle like a motherfucker. But I don't ever do that. My criteria for traditionals, I have a few of them, and simple lockbacks is one finger, two fingers. Wherever my second finger goes, I pinch there, and I lightly press it. If it wobbles, then it's fucking loose. If it wobbles over here, that's normal. That's just called give me a lever long enough and I'll move the world. But here, and then, let's see, that's what frustrated the hell out of me. I think that'll be the best angle. Is that normal? Also, I did notice that, and I love this knife when it came in. I really do still love it because it's the overall style. It's great. I also did notice that. So I get this thing to focus. I'm not sure if it's because it was shipped in the middle of the coldest fucking winter ever for North Carolina. I ain't trying to give you an excuse to either buck because this was supposed to be, I don't know. I mean, just look at that certificate of authenticity. It's supposed to be exceptional. Fit and finish on it everywhere else is perfect, but the scales, the inserts right here, you can see that gap. And it's not consistent to the other side. The other side is still a gap, but it's relatively smooth. Now for comparison, look at your stock models. Now look at your custom. I don't know. I want to ask for opinions. I will say one thing though, that on this knife, it still wobbles, but when it's in the closed position, like I'm sure all y'all know this, like, and that's normal. But when it opens, rock solid. When this one is in the closed position, rock solid. This thing doesn't want to budge at all. At all. Open. And I'm putting this here to brace it so that you don't fucking see either like excessive shaking or that I'm flexing anything. Yeah, you can see it dramatically right there. Even the back spring is moving. I don't think that's right. One concern I did have initially when I got this one, because I do know that the bucks come with that 420 high carbon stainless, and they're both Boss heat treated. One thing that concerned me was I do know this history of bucks, and I do know that brass and their stainless steel slides silky smooth like butter, like the blade against the brass. It's like one of those phosphor bronze washers on a modern folder. It's just self-lubricating. Might need to do the pivot every so often, but that's about it. Okay, lost my train of thought. Damn. So let's see. All right, I lost my train of thought, but now that I got back on track. All right, so I do know that they're self-lubricating. One thing that concerned me initially, I knew that this was made with, like, I was gonna get a Magna Cut one too, like hard ass steels. I saw this one as S35VN, and I was like, I wonder if brass can handle the constant shear force or just shaving force of this constantly sliding and rubbing up against the brass. Like, I expect to see brass dust every so while. Like, I was like, man, maybe this steel is too hard. Will it work out long term? I don't know. Because the traditional for stainless steels, I mean, it's a softer steel, so it would make sense that it would glide easier. Will this cut into the brass? And it's for that reason that I thought maybe. And see, this is why I want clarification. I need you to tell me. And Buck, I ain't trying to give you no excuses or like some new excuses. I need to know. But this is just my input. Maybe it was designed with a slight gap. Still a tank, but it was designed with a slight gap to account for the extra Rockwell hardness of the S35VN. And I'm curious to know if the Magna Cuts bucks are also treated in the same manner. And what I mean by that is, are they just left a little bit open so that we can have clearance there? Because one thing I will accept is I'm okay with a little bit of blade play. Held from right here. If I can feel it a little bit, I'm going to be kind of irritated. But as long as it's slight, this is a lot. I'll be all right. If there is any blade play, forward to back, which is also what this fucking thing has. It's a deal breaker. No forward to back. It just lets me know that that back spring isn't locked up properly. Something hasn't been milled right. I know the tolerants are really picky, but I just that's not right. That's not right. There should be no forward to back blade play whatsoever. I expect that from a liner lock that's like that one, like this one, a front to back blade play, or even a Swiss Army knife, Victorinox soldier knife with that liner lock. I expect a little bit of forward to back, but not on a back lock. Not at all. So that's my opinion. That's my idea. Is that normal? Because I don't like it if it is. This might end up on the secondary market, unfortunately, and I'll just get a different buck knife that I like. Because it's just that forward to back. And I just got it, and it came in late. I'm going to have to send it back into Buck. I called Buck's customer service department, that number they give you on the card. Right, and it was directed to a lady. I explained briefly the situation, and then she referred me to their special department. The name eludes me, but she forwarded it to them. This was around 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, so they were at least 4 hours behind us. So it was probably like 1 p.m. there. The department kept ringing, went to voicemail, and I left the voicemail. I left my phone number, so we'll see what's up. If they call me back, because I didn't want to have to send it in if I don't really have to. I mean, if they can put my mind at ease, I'm probably just going to send it back anyway. I don't know. Does Buck suck? Because this was disappointing. Buck, you just got a new fanboy. Like, literally. I know you got plenty of customers, but geez, my whole life I was just like these traditionals and buck knives. I was just like, there ain't no way that they're that good. I'm just going to get myself a modern folder. Then I got this one, and I was like, okay, maybe they're still doing it right. And then I accidentally, like, fate, the gods smiled on me and sent me this knife. I paid for it, but still, I didn't ask for it. And I was blown away. So, out of my own will, my own desire, I bought this one. You had a new fanboy, and I'm a little bit bummed. I mean, I'm a big boy, but yeah. Points for style.